June 9th.
All right, it's 8:59, June 9th. Call this meeting of the Marion County Board of Supervisors to order. Roll call, Jake.
Keisha Joner,
Here.
Mark Ramey,
Here.
Steve McCombs,
Here.
Hang on just a minute. We got somebody we got to enter. Sorry, it's not wanting my. Here we go. Okay.
All right, very good. Would entertain a motion to approve this morning's agenda.
Make motion we approve today's agenda.
Second.
McCombs,
Aye.
Ramey,
Aye.
Joner.
Aye.
Okay, Jake, any communications received?
No, sir.
All right, thank you. Public comments section. This is the portion of our agenda for the public to speak on items not on this morning's agenda. The board cannot act on those items, but they could be topics for future meetings. Are there any public comments? From Tyler, our county engineer.
Yes, for the board, in the parking lot is an enclosed trailer that the road department uses for our temporary traffic signals. And I picked it up this morning from Pella Engraving, who did a vehicle wrap on the trailer with a distracted driving message on one side, a work zone safety message on the other side. And we received a IMWCA grant for the entire cost of the wrap. So if you get a chance, take a look at that. Brian and Tammy applied for the grant, and Brian was kind of our creative design expert on this project. So they did a great job, and we've got, if you take a look at the trailer and look closely, you'll see some local ties, a local flare involved there. So take a look if you get a chance if the rain breaks.
Wonderful. That's great. Thank you.
Very good, thank you. With that, we'll move on to the consent agenda. Is there a motion on the consent agenda?
Make motion we approve today's consent agenda.
Second.
Ramey,
Aye?
Joner,
Aye.
McCombs.
Aye.
Very good. On to our business today. Declare the public hearing open for comments on the Prairie Ridge Development Agreement between the City of Pella, Marion County, and is it PR Development LLC? All right. A little background on this. We've been working on this for several months. Correct? We have Mike Nardini here with us this morning from the City of Pella. Thanks for coming, Mike. Appreciate it. So we've been working on this development agreement, similar in construction to what we're doing with the VA here in Knoxville, the VA property, other than smaller scope. We don't have any deconstruction issues to deal with. And from a dollars perspective, it's smaller dollars. We're looking at 4.7. I think all-in costs, Mike, what do you estimate?
As far as the total infrastructure
Yes.
cost, public infrastructure will be about 5.7, but the county 4.7 million for on-site, which is covered under the terms of the development agreement.
Right. Very good. Thank you. So, so we've been talking about that. We think workforce housing still in need. We have no indications at all from any of our major employers that COVID-19 has caused a what I'll call a material change to their business. Of course, there were near-term effects, as was felt throughout the entire state and nation. But as the economy has started to come online again, things seem to be coming back online for business as well. So gives us a little background. On Mike, if there's anything you want to add to that in the public hearing section.
Chairman Ramey, thank you for giving me the opportunity. Supervisors, thank you for allowing me to be here today. I would just echo the statements stated by Chairman Ramey on this. Workforce housing is still a critical need, not only in Pella, but in Marion County, and that is the intent of the development agreement today. And so I'd be more than happy to answer any questions that supervisors may have on the proposed development agreement this morning.
Okay. And as this is a public hearing, are there any comments or questions on the development agreement from the public? Okay, seeing none, I would entertain a motion then to close the public hearing.
Make motion, we close the public hearing.
Second.
Johnner,
Aye.
McCombs,
Aye.
Ramey,
Aye. Very good. Second item is Resolution 2020-48, and this is the authorizing of and executing of the development agreement that we've been discussing. Understand from the board, and this is where the board can ask additional questions, a good opportunity to do so. One of the things that we are and need to be aware of is in committing to the development agreement, my view, you're committing to funding. They're not different, even though we may issue funding later on. I think we have to be aware that if we say go on the development and execute the agreement, it follows that shovels are going to start going in the ground, work is going to start, and we can't come down the road 3 months from now, 4 months from now and say, oh, by the way, we don't want to do the funding part. So I wanted to bring these together. It's still the development agreement. We'll talk to Jake about when bonds are released. Interest rates are very good. Do we have Michael online?
Yes, I'm here, sir.
Michael, maybe just give us a little, two sentences on where we're at on rates for municipal bonds.
Sure. I would tell you that we use relatively conservative rates for modeling starting late calendar year, and when interest rates dropped going into early March, we did not track that for the analysis when this was reviewed. While rates have gone up and down, they're significantly lower than at any point when we've evaluated this to date. Just because they're there today doesn't necessarily mean they'll be there in the future. With all due respect, sir, I believe you're the one with the crystal ball. So we'll be prepared to execute when the time comes, but we know that this does go hand in hand with the development agreement, to echo your point, sir.
Very good. Thank you, Michael. Appreciate it. Okay. Good. Any questions from the board? Steve, Keisha, this is your opportunity to ask questions if you have any regarding this process.
I know when all this started, that was one of my main concerns on what our major employers, where their attitude was at in all this. And you reiterated that, Mark, that apparently they see no downside to the COVID thing. So it looks like they're still on board and they're still looking at progressing.
Yes.
If I can add.
Carla, yes, absolutely.
I've been tracking unemployment, as you know, through the whole thing. And 3 weeks ago, we were at about 300 people in Marion County that filed for the first time for unemployment. 2 weeks ago, when I looked at the numbers last week for 2 weeks ago, that number had gone from like 300, almost 400 people down to 117. Typically before COVID, we had about 20 people file a week, to give you some perspective of what's happening. But we are starting to see those number of initial claims significantly decrease week after week as more workers are being called back after the COVID.
Okay, very good.
That's a good sign.
That is good information. I appreciate that.
I know we've had this discussion, it's been an ongoing discussion, not just with Prairie Ridge, but just housing shortage in Marion County. We've had this discussion for years.
Yeah.
Now, and we're actually moving ahead, trying to do something about it now.
Yeah.
So, I have not heard any public comment, myself personally. Yay or nay, either way, I'm not sure the public's even aware sometimes of what's going on. I mean, that's why we have these public meetings, that's why we post stuff. But I guess I'm of the opinion that we need to take action. If we're going to grow, we need to take action. In my opinion.
No, I appreciate that, Steve. Thank you. Keisha, any thoughts?
Yeah. I have not, same with Steve. I think we have been very slow with this process, making sure that the public is aware. And I think we've done a good job about that. So yeah, I have not heard any negativity. So yeah, I am for it.
Well, with that, I have no additional comments on this. I think this is definitely something, as the data has shown, we need to do. we need to take action on. Housing is an issue in our county, and we need to send a signal that Marion County is open for business. And I think this does that. So with that, I would entertain a motion to take action on this resolution.
Make motion to approve resolution 2020-48.
Second.
McCombs,
Aye.
Ramey,
Aye,
Johnner.
very good. It is approved.
Thank you.
All right, thank you, Mike. Appreciate you coming over.
Hey, which one do I click so that we can see all of them? Is it this one?
No, grade in the upper right.
That's it. I was like, I knew I was.
There we go.
Yeah.
Open up the business. Yeah, I'm tired of eating my coffee.
Very good.
Make sure I pass the message along. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you, Mike.
Thanks for coming
Appreciate
over, Mike.
Thank
Appreciate
you,
it.
Mike.
Next, we'll declare the public hearing open on proposed FY 20 Marion County budget amendment. Jake?
Yes, sir. So, I know this feels like it's a little bit later than normal, which it is, and that you've had the information for some time. The reason we're doing it, presented it and republished for this meeting is with the transition of our newspapers, the Chronicle and Journal Express, in the week that the public hearing notice and all that was to be in, the original public notice did not make the newspaper. So it was postponed from last meeting to this meeting so we could make sure we got published notice and postings up. So that's what we're considering the annual public hearing today. So we, just as a review, if that's what you want for public, we went through a process, asked all the departments to submit any requests. Very few from departments came in. We had several projects, larger scope projects that the county was undertaking, doing with mostly facilities remodeling, stuff in the courthouse, those types of things. Those are the main issues you can see on your individual listings by department, of which those were. It's a rather large number because you guys have been working on a lot of projects. The sheet that is the public notice is divided by the service areas for the county. So when you combine it all into the state level, it goes to a macro level, not that individual chart of account number. So there were no revenue, nothing adjusted for revenue, it was only for expenses to pick up those projects. So I'm not sure if you have questions or details. So the next three items on your agenda are a public hearing for budget amendment, a resolution if you so choose to approve the budget amendment, and then the third would be to appropriate those expenses so they can actually be expended.
Steve, Keisha?
Well, you're definitely right, Jake. We certainly have a lot of projects going on, so I understand.
I don't have anything.
Okay.
Good. Thank you, Jake, for preparing.
Yeah, very
Thank
good.
you.
Very good. Thanks, Jake. With that, we'll entertain a motion to close the public hearing.
Make motion to close the public hearing.
Second.
Ramey,
Aye?
Johnner,
Aye.
McCombs,
Aye.
Good. Is there a motion on resolution 2020-40, which is adoption of said budget amendment?
I make motion we approve resolution 2020-40.
Second.
Johnner,
Aye.
McCombs,
Aye.
Ramey,
Aye. Very good. Next, we have resolution 2020-41, which is, I think coinciding with this is
Right.
adjustment of our expense appropriations.
this is a direct link to the exact same amounts. This is actually appropriating that to each chart of account number within each departmental's expense line.
Any discussion? Okay, is there a motion?
Make motion we approve resolution 2020-41.
Second.
McCombs,
Aye.
Ramey,
Aye.
Johnner,
Aye.
All right, very good. Thank you. Jake, thank you. Next item is special event application for Karen Yoga and Wellness Studio, Yoga on the Lawn. Chris, did we get this all adjusted and taken care of? And
We are 100% ready to move forward on it. So I had some great conversations with both Knoxville Farmers Market and Kathy with Yoga on the Lawn at the courthouse. We got that all hashed out because of our confined space on the square now with all the renovation going on at the courthouse. Both parties were wonderful to work with, and I don't see any reason why we can't move forward with it.
perfect, perfect.
Thank you, Chris.
Yep, thanks, appreciate
Any
that.
questions, discussion, board? Okay, with that, is there a motion?
Make motion, we approve special event application.
Second?
Ramey,
Aye.
Johnner,
Aye.
McCombs.
Aye.
Very good, thank you. Thanks, Chris, for taking care of that. Resolution 2020-33 is set a public hearing date, disposition of county property to the Fair Board. Before we do that, maybe just a little bit of background. Steve, you want to give just a little thumbnail sketch of what we're doing here?
Well, as everyone knows, so there's always been some confusion on who actually controlled what is known as the racetrack, or with Ed's help, county attorney's help, we've determined that the County Fair Association is an entity unto theirself. Marion County, as far as we're concerned as a board, we exercise no control over that entity, but we did have some pieces of property in the research we found that Marion County actually owned that are on the fairgrounds. So we thought it was in the best interest of Marion County residents, and also to clear up the confusion on who actually controlled that space, was best to turn this property over to the Marion County Fair Association so they can deem what they deem necessary to do with it. And it releases us of any liability.
Yes. Real key point there, Steve, and I thank you for working on that with Ed.
Yep.
And getting that taken care of, is that if we don't have any authority over the boards, and technically then the spaces that they control, we don't want to have even the perception of ownership of any of the parcels within, the racetrack and fairgrounds, especially from a liability standpoint. And that needs to be transferred to the entity that has authority over that property. So
I would recommend that we do transfer that property.
Okay, very good. Any discussion, Keisha?
Nope, I agree.
Okay. Is there a motion on resolution 2020-33?
Is that the public hearing? Yes.
Oh,
Yeah, we're just setting the public hearing.
we're setting the public hearing date, yeah.
Yep. So I make motion to approve resolution
Mark,
20.
this is Ed, I don't know if you folks hear me, all this is doing is setting 2 weeks from now for the public hearing on the issue.
Yeah, we don't really have to, does the resolution, does it have a date?
Yes.
I thought it had a date, so we approved the resolution.
Approve the resolution setting the date,
Yeah.
the public
Yep,
hearing
yep.
date.
Right.
So now we'll publish the meeting.
Yep.
Right, so is there a motion on this resolution? I knew I was right.
Yeah, I make motion to approve resolution 2020-33.
Excuse me, Ed,
Sir,
do we have a document in place yet, or do we still have to come up with that document if this does indeed take place?
we'll be ready for you in 2 weeks. We are working through some languaging about whether or not this is a gifting for public purpose, or whether or not it's the exchange of like we've done with memorial halls, for $1 type thing. We're just working through some logistical language. We'll be ready in 2 weeks to give you that once you do your public hearing.
Okay, thank you, Ed. I second that motion. Excuse me.
Johnner,
Aye.
McCombs,
Aye.
Ramey.
Aye, resolution is approved, setting the date. Resolution 2020-49, which is designating a temporary newspaper for legal publication. I don't know, Ed, do you want to give us a little background on this?
Sure. As you recall, we had a conversation at least one meeting ago, and maybe 2 meetings ago, about the changing dynamics of the merging of the 2 newspapers here with the Oskaloosa newspaper from what does that really mean for Marion County? And when we examined it and looked at the legal issue, just like the city of Pellis, city attorneys did as well, my office came to the conclusion that Marion County was without a paper of general circulation at this time, although we were optimistic and hopeful in the near future that the Oskaloosa Herald would be able to get back with us and tell us that they in fact have the numbers to support the requirements of Iowa code. Well, then that created a very interesting dynamic from our friends in law who do probate and need other legal means to publish. What does in fact legal publication for Marion County mean if we have it designated in one scope or another a paper? And so after speaking with some attorneys here in town, I know some of them may have reached out to the board as well with some concerns about, hey, we still have to publish things for probate, for example. We don't know where we would publish. This just confirms until such time as we're able to identify a paper that the Des Moines Register is a paper that's being used, because we have no other paper. And I would indicate to the board, though not directly on point, I have spoken already with our legislators and are even efforting for this year to try to figure out how we can pin a fix to this on to an appropriation bill at the end. So we're working through the issue to fix it, and then this is a short-term fix for it.
Okay, very good. Thanks, Ed. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Ed.
Any discussion? Okay, seeing none. Is there a motion on resolution 2020-49?
Make motion on resolution to approve resolution 2020-49.
Second?
McCombs,
Aye?
Ramey,
Aye.
Johnner.
Aye.
Okay. Item number 9. Steve,
Before we go into closed session, could,
we got one more item, Steve.
Yeah, you're looking at your new agenda.
oh, okay.
All right, it's all right. You got her? Item number 9, we've been having some discussion over the course of even before COVID-19 from a board perspective in our meetings, when we have budgets, when we review department staffing, on ways that we can be more effective and more efficient in allocation of county resources. That includes things that we do, whether it's purchase of road graders, whether it's how we leverage our facilities, and staffing people. As we've gone through COVID-19, as we had a chance to look at this in a little more detail, realize there probably are some needed changes that we have to start looking at as a board. And this comes from me, particularly as a presentation to this board. Starting off with our GIS function. We've got a variety of different GIS uses, departments that use GIS within Marion County. And I think it would be incumbent upon us to eliminate that position and move that position in a basically a redefined role within our IT function under Andrew. And by a redefined role, I mean, I think we need to add help desk services, additional help desk, web administration, and GIS. We need to have this, we need to have one job that does all of those things. We also need to have more and greater visibility to GIS within Marion County. We have between emergency management, between law enforcement, between the assessor, land use, and we have a variety of people, like road department. Everybody has some GIS touch. And I know when we've sat through 911 meetings and such, we've had a lot of discussions on that particular function. So I think it's time to relook at that and fold it into a new position under our IT department that also includes web administration and help desk services. Our two Andrews have done a great job, whether it's been the transition, whether it has been dealing with all the technology issues that we have here in Marion County, and that service requirement is only going to increase. The second item in part of my thought process in proposing this is our web administration. We need desperately an update to our website. It is not where it should be. It is not that user-friendly. We need the public to have greater visibility and access to services. It has to be easier to use. It's just not where it should be. So we need an upgrade in our website and how we utilize technology. We've asked some of our other departments, Michaela and others, to use a new appointment system. So I think all in all, when we look at a technology upgrade, this is better suited to take these technology-like functions, put them under our IT department, and have it be administered under IT. So from an HR perspective, what this would mean is eliminating the GIS position that we currently have. We will, with Andrew as the new supervisor, work with Lisa on reposting a new position that will now be help desk, web administration, and GIS, and other functions as we talk to Andrew about how this will be structured, and go from there. So it's a job elimination, but it's also it's recasting that position to meet more of the challenges that we have from a technology standpoint here in Marion County. Discussion.
Are we comfortable, or do we have a handle on what that reconstruction would look like? Or is Andrew comfortable with how to progress with that? I mean, and where do we do in the interim until we get to that point?
Well, I think this would be something we would act upon immediately, Steve. And I think I'm not going to necessarily put words into Andrew's, into what Andrew would say. But in normal corporate environment, this is where that would all fall. It would all fall under IT. And Andrew has told me he's not the GIS expert. So I want to be fair to Andrew. He's not raising his hand going, hey, I'm the GIS expert. However, from an IT management standpoint, I think Andrew's the guy to manage that.
It, yeah, I agree.
But I think we need to bring additional skill set in to IT, also to help with help desk and web. We've got to upgrade these things. We're asking folks to do more with the web. So it's really not just GIS, it's also our technology platform. And our two Andrews are going to need additional help doing that. So it's going to require a different type of a staff member to come in and help them do that.
Hey, Mark, this is Scott with the assessor's office. What's wrong with the person we have in there now?
There's nothing wrong with the person, Scott.
Why are important? So I'm just confused on why we need to look for a new person when we have a person that's already doing all that.
They're not doing all that. In fact, I don't even know what we have we've asked this question, I've asked this question in every board meeting. What do we do for GIS? I don't have a clear answer. It seems to be the secret that it's kind of the secret that we have. We didn't even have access to GIS. So there's nothing wrong with the person, but we do need an upgrade. And I want this to be a more corporate-like function, not the way it is today.
Mark, this is Missy. Hey, I just have, and I talked to Keisha a little bit yesterday. Moving forward, can we continue with our GIS committee so we, whether it be quarterly like we do some of the other groups, so that we all have input, discussion, got their needs, more, I guess, more workability, as we move forward.
Yeah,
Well, that goes without saying.
yeah, absolutely, Missy. I mean, I think you continue to have those discussions with with whoever comes on.
Right.
But understand this, it's not just going to be exclusively that role anymore.
Right, because they're also gonna be doing website.
We need additional support in IT for web administration. We need additional help desk support. So part of the reason, that's why it's not about necessarily the individual, it's about the fact we've got to have a broader base of skills within our current IT function.
I was a little taken back when I heard that the software that Marion County has purchased, we couldn't even get into. Because, am I correct in that?
That seems to be what we were told, yeah. So,
I think Bill had access to that, to all of that stuff.
But it was in his name, wasn't it?
Well,
And-
under county.
apart from that, the proposal is that we gotta redefine what we're doing. And I don't think the current staffing and the current structure works. So that's the proposal on the table. In addition, wait a minute. In addition, we're talking about this from a senior nutrition standpoint as well. That right now, in talking with Kim, we have two part-time individuals, or have had two part-time individuals working in senior nutrition. The full-time person has capacity to do those part-time roles. We don't need to have 3 people within senior nutrition. Right now, 1 will suffice. So I think to be responsible to the taxpayer, which is the ultimate objective to all this, provide maximum value to the taxpayer, that we're going to consolidate that into just 1 staff person, not 3. And I think that's something everybody has to kind of take to heart, is that now we've got to look at these things. Revenue is not going to go up over the next several years. We need businesses to grow, we need people to move here, we need our tax base to increase. So the idea of everything just staying the way it was, that's just not the case. If you've been reading anything that's gone on with the current crisis, the amount of revenue lost from state government, just in sales tax and gas tax alone, is massive.
Huge.
We have to look for ways to be more efficient and still do our jobs well.
Mark, Jason here.
Yeah.
Hey, so is Bill retiring or is this position just being eliminated?
We're eliminating the position, Jason.
Okay, second question. You mentioned earlier there on the E911 side of it, are you, I guess, or is the Board of Supervisors set on that going to IT, or you mentioned E911 earlier, different things and how it's all coordinated with dispatch and everything. Is it still open in regards to where that position can go?
It seems to me to be a good fit for IT, Jason, but we can think about it. I think when I think GIS, unless somebody can prove otherwise, which so far nobody has, to me, GIS, if we get someone that can do all of that, they should be doing all of it for all of our functions.
Well, yeah, and I'm in agreement with that. I just think I'd just like to have a little bit more discussion on exactly where it lands, if that's.
But we can do that later. We can do that later, Jason. Yeah,
I think there's 3 points though. We have to, it's the help desk, it's the website, it's the GIS.
The position has to do all 3 of those things. The new position has to do all 3 of those things,
Yeah.
Jason.
We're not separating
All
it.
right, I understand.
Andrew need more support. We've got to have that. The complexity of our information technology is increasing.
Yeah, I agree. I just didn't know if, those discussions had been had yet in regards to it.
No.
We're having the discussion now.
We need to do this first. Gordon?
I'm for the website, us having a revised website, in the aspect of, I know that public health has theirs, I know Carla has economic development, but we should be able to have a website that everybody can go to, and if you're linking to that, that's one thing. It needs to be redone.
All right. So the proposal, as I've kind of gone through it, we'll have Lisa work with impacted staff members. Is there a motion?
Make motion to approve departmental reorganization and possible elimination, position eliminations.
Second.
Yep.
Ramey,
Aye.
Johnner,
Aye.
McCombs.
Aye.
Very good. Thank you. So Lisa, you'll take care of
Say well, thank you.
that piece? All right, thank you. Is there a motion to move into closed session?
Wait a minute.
Oh,
I'd like to say something before everybody leaves. Jason, are you still there? I can't hear him.
Yeah, I'm still here, Steve.
Okay. We need to have a conversation here a while back. We purchased I don't know, 4,500 gallons of fuel, not knowing what we were getting into. And we have it out to the secondary road department. And the intent was if we got into a fuel bind, which it looks like we're kind of through that phase right now, I think we need to have some discussions with Tyler on the sheriff's office using the fuel out there because there is a shelf life on it.
Most definitely. Yeah, I think that we'd be more than happy to do that.
I mean, we certainly got it at a good price, so it's cheaper than what you can buy it now. So I think we need to start using into that reserve. So if you could get with Tyler, so we could get that kind of used down
Yeah.
on how that's
will.
going to work.
Yeah, that's actually, I think that's a good idea, and I agree the price was very good at the time when it was purchased, so I will work with Tyler.
Okay, thank you.
good.
Thanks for bringing that
Thanks,
up,
Steve.
Steve.
Thanks for bringing that up. Very good. That I would entertain a motion to close open session.
So moved.
Second.
Johnner,
Aye.
McCombs,
Aye.
Ramey,
Aye. Take a 5-minute break before closed.
Okay, hang on, I gotta open this back up. No, I just didn't turn our camera on, but we're on. Okay.
Are we back on?
Yep.
All right, thank you. It's 10:20 on June 9th. We'll entertain a motion to reconvene from closed session.
Make motion, we reconvene into open session.
Second.
McCombs,
Aye.
Ramey,
Aye.
Johnner,
Aye.
All right, results of our closed session discussion. We did a performance review. Facilities Director Chris Nestaby. Anything else for open session updates?
Tonight, we have our meeting tonight.
Yes, we have our meeting tonight with the City of Knoxville at 5 o'clock. It'll be Zoom, and here it'll be a variety of things. So we're doing that tonight. Jake has got agendas all set out yesterday, so yeah, it should be good. Did we find anybody for conference?
Matt will be via Zoom.
Okay.
At 5 p.m.
Very good.
So Matt Carlisle, the project lead for Confluence, will be on the Zoom meeting.
Okay, so just to give you an idea of the flavor of the meeting, this will help. Since we're the drivers of it, we'll open with our call to order, approval of agenda. We'll pass that baton over to the mayor and City of Knoxville to do their formalities, get that done. It'll come back to me. I will tee it up then for the purpose of the meeting. which is essentially to go through an update of where we stand right now with the VA. Brian will talk about archaeology and the archaeological study. Aaron will talk about the RFP process, and then we will have a discussion on Confluence and their process.
Okay.
Give an opportunity to ask any questions, both from the Board of Supervisors and City Council perspective, and that's pretty much the extent of the meeting. And then we will establish a regular meeting cycle if that's a desire of our respective boards and councils. I think it would be good, I don't know, I threw out to them once a month update, just something like that, unless something urgent came up. But I think from a public view standpoint as well, it's important.
I think you need to keep it out there, you know.
Hannah will be here as well, Chamber. I think she'll join by Zoom. I talked to her yesterday. So anyway, I think it'd be good from a public standpoint.
I do too.
Have people talking about it. It is a construction site. We have people doing things out there and starting to do prep work. So that's good.
I would add that, talking with Matt again yesterday, that list that we had passed on of public faces that to have conversations about the VA.
Yes.
He's made contact with everyone, and he said it's been a joy.
Excellent.
No issues.
That'll be a good
He's
update
had-
for tonight, yeah.
Yep, so he's had some great conversations in person with folks, and he's had some great phone conversations. Everybody that we brought on board to be a part of that has been very excited, very willing to help, and he is blown away by how great it's been so far.
Excellent. And Jake, you're gonna join via Zoom?
Whatever you guys prefer.
And I'm fine
If
with
you
that.
don't mind, then I can stay at my desk and.
Yep.
But if you'd rather have me come out here, I can.
Nope,
It's
nope.
however you guys want.
Zoom is fine. I got
Whatever
no
you
problem.
want to do, buddy.
All right, very good. Any other updates for the good of the order?
Will there be pizza?
Will there be pizza?
You better eat before you come.
All right, with that, I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
Make the motion, we adjourn.
Second.
Johnner,
Aye.
McCombs,
Aye.
Ramey,
Aye, very good. We are adjourned.